ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
Sharp Hospital is defending its actions after vaccinating San Diego police officers not included in the first phase of the vaccine rollout. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt. Steve has the night off. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner has Sharp's explanation for going against protocol.
Sharp Healthcare said it could not have foreseen having this kind of surplus of the vaccine that was set to expire immediately. Questions Tuesday over whether hundreds of SDPD officers and fire rescue workers should have gotten the COVID-19 vaccine ahead of their scheduled turn. The county confirmed with ABC 10 News that it was made aware Tuesday morning that Sharp Healthcare had 300 vaccines due to expire, so hospital staff directed officers to come in and be vaccinated. The county reported that Sharp did not notify the county in advance, or else the county would have directed Sharp to vaccinate Phase 1A eligible recipients, like healthcare workers and nursing home residents. Police officers and firefighters are considered essential workers, which are part of Phase 1B in the vaccine distribution plan. That phase has not started. Sharp confirmed Tuesday afternoon that on Monday at about 7:30 p.m., it did not contact the county for a directive on what to do with its vaccine surplus because it was after hours. Instead, Sharp said it moved forward and quickly with a plan to vaccinate first responders, the majority being SDPD officers, but also some firefighters. Sharp characterized it as a win-win. It was able to use the vaccines before they expired and hundreds of officers were vaccinated. Sharp added that the state allows for hospitals to deliver the vaccine to lower priority groups when doses are about to expire. Because of this situation, the county is reporting that it has now asked the state to direct hospitals in similar positions to notify and coordinate with the county first before jumping to a different priority tier. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
In a statement to ABC 10 News, the city said time was of the essence to use those vaccines, and the city recognizes the importance of keeping public safety personnel healthy. Our strict stay-at-home order will stay in place for another 3 weeks. Today, the state's top health officers said Southern California's region still has what is considered 0% ICU capacity.
We've seen a nearly 70%, 68.7% increase in ICU COVID hospitalizations over the last 14 days.
Another surge of cases is expected because of recent holiday travel and gatherings. The stay-at-home order will stay in place until ICU capacity gets back to 15%. Here are the latest numbers. The county reported another 2,500 cases today, pushing our total past the 150,000 mark. And there were also 31 new deaths, bringing that total to 1,435. San Diegans continue to flock to get themselves tested. Sky 10 was over the long line this afternoon at the San Isidro Civic Center. It's just one of the places the county offers free COVID testing. We are told the line stretched around the block all day long. You can check the county's website for the testing location nearest you. The new stimulus package may be official, but unemployed San Diegans may have to wait longer to get the extra $300 per week as promised. ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains why the money isn't coming immediately after the president's signature.
Just trying to keep it festive in here.
Audra Renee stops by her Rancho Bernardo salon a couple times a week just to get the mail. It's one reason she's keeping her Christmas decorations up.
It makes me sad to take it down on normal years, and we lost all of December.
Renee closed her salon earlier this month as part of the governor's shutdown order and is now collecting unemployment. Her weekly check is supposed to have a $300 raise as part of the new $900 billion stimulus package, but it's doubtful she'll see it right away.
Right now, I'm not in a position to pad savings. I'm liquidating out of savings.
Congress and the White House negotiated the stimulus package for weeks, and President Trump didn't sign it until Sunday. That was a day after the original package expired. That timeline now causing backups.
Letting the program lapse and then people having to restart it once the funding comes in is what's going to cause that delay, because it's not like they take the money and they just like hand it out tomorrow. It's got to go through a certain process.
The state EDD says it is mobilizing as best it can to get the extra money to Californians, but it's waiting on key instructions from the Labor Department. As the state waits on the feds, San Diegans like Renee are left wondering.
But it's been extremely frustrating to watch back and forth and partisan bickering on so many things, especially as a small business owner.
She says the squabbling happens as real people are hurting. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
The Labor Department says it's working as quickly as possible to help states implement the new stimulus package and hopes to avoid delay. The state currently pays a maximum $450 a week in unemployment. And a South Bay grandfather is on a ventilator fighting for his life tonight, far from home. As ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen explains, his COVID battle began after he flew to Mexico to say goodbye to his dying brother.
After 5 decades as a server, first at the Hotel Del Coronado and then the Sheraton Harbor Island, Hector Villaseñor found himself without work during the pandemic.
He actually is one of those people that cannot not work. Mentally, that's very hard to get used to.
His son Hector says his father's tough year became even more painful with news from Mexico City.
So my dad learned that his brother was on his last days. He had been diagnosed with cancer. And he had to fly out.
Villaseñor flew out November 27th, staying at the home of his brother, who passed away December 2nd. Within days, 7 family members were sick, including Villaseñor. His first symptoms, a cough, then a fever and breathing issues. He was treated with oxygen and tested positive for COVID. This screen grab from a FaceTime call between father and son.
It felt like, for talking for 10 seconds, he had run a marathon.
A few days later, Villaseñor's oxygen levels dipped and he was taken to the ER and placed on a ventilator.
It's a total feeling of, helplessness, fear, anxiety.
After 10 days in the ICU, Villaseñor is critical but stable. Family members starting a GoFundMe campaign to ensure his care.
We've already paid over $20,000, which is pretty much just a down payment.
It's unclear how much Villaseñor's U.S. medical insurance will cover in Mexico. For loved ones back home, it is a painful waiting game after the cruelest of twists.
He ends up wanting to go say goodbye to his brother, and now he's fighting for his own life, and we're the ones facing the probability we might have to say goodbye.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.
Stay on top of new developments with coronavirus by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store. San Diegans hoping to visit the mountains to see the first big snowfall of the season spent hours in traffic instead. ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti shows the backup that stretched for miles.
We know when we see that fresh snowfall, it is so tempting to get in the car and go visit it. Seems like that's what everybody did today, and it created a bit of a headache. CHP ended up shutting down parts of Sunrise Highway, not letting people go up the mountain off of Highway 8 because of how many people went up the mountain. Video from Sky 10 shows all of those people sledding. You can see all of those cars parked in the roads. That's what created a headache today. That is why so many cars were stopped, is because there were just so many people at the top of the mountain. CHP ended up giving out tickets to people who were parked. Some locals say they were stuck. They couldn't get home. One family says they gave up. They didn't even try to get to the top of that mountain. They ended up pulling over on the side of the road and enjoying the snow right there.
Well, we stopped here because we really wanted to get out on the snow, and this is the most snowy place, so we just played here. It's beautiful. Like, San Diego has the best of everything. So
the big message from CHP, though, is we know you want to come enjoy the snow, but stay home. Really, truly, it created that massive headache, that gridlock all day up on Sunrise Highway. Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
Melissa Masiha will be along with the warm-up in our forecast coming up later in weather. A man is recovering after being rescued from the cliffs above Black's Beach. Lifeguards tell us the man slipped and fell while hiking with his wife before 2 o'clock. They say the area is slippery after yesterday's storm. His injuries are not serious. We have a crime alert. The FBI needs your help finding the man who robbed a La Mesa bank. Newly released surveillance photos show the man who hit the Bank of the West on Center Drive yesterday. He demanded money from the teller, saying he had a bomb, then walked off with the cash. He's 25 to 30, about 5'10", with longer hair and freckles. Please call the FBI if you recognize him.